Batman. Anything that comes to your mind, it will give you details about them, family relations even in the movie, or you can compare two companies, for example, like Microsoft with Apple. Then you'll find the revenue, latest trades, and fundamental and financial, market cap, revenue, all the data in the year, in the month. Also, you can use it for mathematics. If we return to the main page, I'll use this thing here that says mathematics. So anything that is in mathematics, you can compare it. There are a sample here of what can we do. Suggest us to choose one of them. For example, factor 70560. It will give all the details. Even if you want to compare between two, let's say, superstars, like for example, Eminem, is 50 Cent, let's say, it will give you anything. So it has, maybe I don't have a lot, or it says here, okay, ISS, the International Space Station. It will tell you where it is located. I wrote it down, some things that are interesting. This is the International Space Station. And what else? Even the calories, if you want to calculate the calories in, for example, a cheeseburger, is KT. Still can't spell. It will give you here, it's cheeseburger, one cheeseburger and 1 cup of spaghetti. It will show you how many fats it has and sodium. It's so wonderful and a nice knowledge computation engine. Can you suggest something? I can look for it if you would like to suggest something, because I almost done what they have. Yeah.
US, maybe you can type USA, UAE, and Azerbaijan.
Okay, UAE.
UAE.
Yeah.
Versus USA.
Versus USA.
Azerbaijan.
Also versus.
Yeah.
Other.
Azerbaijan. Okay.
I can't spell it.
That's okay. Then UAE and US.
Maybe like this.
I just write on chat how it's spelling is writing.
I know, but the instead of T, put a Z. Azerbaijan.
Okay. Azerbaijan.
Okay, close enough.
Azerbaijan, that's it. The spelling is there. I'm sorry that I couldn't spell it correctly.
Spell it. Let me get closer. Yep, it's not Azerbaijan, right?
Here are the flags.
So what it does is it also put them on the map, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It also compares its education, the population, anything and everything that finds on the internet has something to do with mathematics.
Population, life expectancy. Okay.
I mean, you can find the exact same things using 3 pages of Wikipedia, for instance, but this way it will put the chart for you and put them in a nice comparison. I did a presentation on Wolfram Alpha in Azerbaijan. I compared New York City to Baku, and I found very interesting comparisons because New York State is, one of the interesting things is that in Azerbaijan, people produce more babies, like 100% more. So we weren't sure what was that, and I thought maybe people work harder in Azerbaijan. So we were really looking at the data to find some meaning. All right, thank you so much, Khalid. Now you are good to go.
Thank you for listening to me, and I was happy to present something to you. And
once we finish the presentations here, I'm going to also put your video clip that you sent to me before I went to UAE. I had a chance to visit Abu Dhabi last month, and he invited me writing a poem. He is an author himself. He's a poet, author, as well as a wood player. So you're going to see him later today playing traditional Middle Eastern instruments and welcoming me with a song that he wrote. So it was very exciting. Thank you, Khalid, for coming, and thank you for all your contributions. All right, it seems like, Chris Kraft is on the line. Hi, Chris. So good to see you, and thank you for coming.
Thanks so much. It's good to see you all.
Yeah, we're so excited with your project. So anything you can tell us the next 5 minutes, we will be so delighted. And this is the audience. I hope you'll have a chance to see. We're saying hello to you from NYIT.
Well, it's so great to see you all. So NYIT, you're in New York, is that right?
Yes, sir.
I will be in New York next week. I'm really excited. I get a chance to visit the city a few times a year because I live in Columbia, South Carolina, and New York, LaGuardia is one of the 3 airports I can actually fly to directly. So I have Hamilton tickets. So I'm really excited. I'm going to come up and spend some time and have great food and opportunities in New York. I'm Chris Kraft. I live, work, and play in Columbia, South Carolina. I am the Global Director of Strategic Partnerships for a company called EdTech Team. We are Google's premier education partner. But the reason I'm talking to you today is because of something that I do as a part of my 20% project. If you're not familiar with that concept, Google gives all of their employees and our company by proxy 20% of our time to work on projects of our passion. So I run a nonprofit organization called Different Heroes. You can read about that at differentheroes.com. And one of our major purposes in life is to make life better for children with limb differences. My mom, who is now 70 years old, was born with a limb difference. She was born without a foot. And that was as a result of something called amniotic band syndrome. They're like rubber bands that grab a hold of the limbs as they're forming. They float around in utero. They grab a hold of the limbs and prevent that particular limb from forming. Well, so I grew up with a mom with a limb difference. And as I was teaching, when I taught a class called Introduction to STEM, we had lots and lots of 3D printers. And this is when the 3D printing of prosthetics began to gain some popularity across K-12 education. So one of the things that we did as we began to get involved in this process is we created a hand for a little girl named Alyssa who lived in Charleston, South Carolina. She was born with amniotic band syndrome and born without a hand from about right here on. As a result of the 3D printed prosthetic hand that we created for her, she, for the very first time in her life, listen to this, for the very first time in her life, could do her own fingernails. I have 2 daughters, and that had never occurred to me that that was something that somebody would not be able to do, but she had no way to hold the nail brush because she only had one typical limb. So we made a hand for her, and it was absolutely the greatest thing we'd ever done. So we decided to find a way to get other schools involved in this. So we created handchallenge.com. Handchallenge.com. And listen to what we're doing. Look at me in the face. We are asking everyone with a 3D printer, everyone that has or has access to a 3D printer, to commit to printing, assembling, and sending us one 3D printed prosthetic hand. And we created on that website, you'll see there's every instruction you could ever want. We have tutorial videos created by 6th grade girls tutorial videos available in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And we have participants as of today. I just checked a few minutes ago. As of today, listen to this. We have 845 schools and school districts around the world, representing 48 of the United States and 41 foreign countries. 48 of the United States and 41 foreign countries all over the world. And in fact, Azerbaijan is represented, which I thought was really fun that you were just talking about, a seemingly a country that you might not think of naturally, but that country, somebody there is currently printing, assembling, and getting ready to send us a 3D printed prosthetic device. We take those devices in, we give them quality control, and then we turn around and send them out to NGOs and nonprofits around the world, as well as to individuals. We just recently sent 200 hands to India. We sent 40 to Nigeria and 25 to Venezuela, as well as to children all around the United States. And that's all a part of our nonprofit called Different Heroes. So we take in donations and we provide grant programs. We help schools and school districts purchase 3D printers that want to get involved in this particular initiative. It's the whole goal of this is to help your students and mine realize that it is absolutely possible to do more with a 3D printer than just print some fun little statue or print the little example, that we could create something that can go from plastic to a child's dream.
Thank you, Chris. This is perfect. Perfect 5 minutes presentation. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very kind.
And today, yeah, he needs to now go to his keynote. He just came between keynotes. Person. We also have Green Sibirsky just joined. He was on the road for hours to come here, but then had to go back. So he may be later on presenting. But I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Rosabelle, who is going to actually present to us. Probably you can use the screen here to present.
Yeah, I just need to log into your page.
Right, so the page is right here. I set that for you. I'm going to send this link. So you will see from this link that you sent. One second, I'm going to send the chat window Rosabelle's presentation. All right. All right. Thank you for listening, Graham. All right, I can keep recording. Let me find your presentation. All right, let's welcome Rosabelle. Introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Rosabelle. I am currently a graduate student. I work with Professor Hillis on my seminar and practicum program. What I have in store is a really quick and short presentation of the use of virtual reality in the classroom. So we're going to explore really quickly how it ties into STEAM, how to use it and see it in an actual STEAM lesson. So hopefully it goes. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So to begin, I found this really excellent quote that really sets the mood for where we are going, not only with virtual reality, but with technology. And it's virtual reality was once a dream of science fiction, but the internet was also once a dream. And so were computers and smartphones. The future is coming. With that being told, technology is also morphing and making its way into our schools. So pretty much what is VR? Technology that recreates a real or imaginary setting. So it works with the aid of a virtual reality headset. Not that you need virtual reality headsets, as we've seen with Google Maps. It is set up as virtual reality. So how does this relate to school? How can you learn with VR? Think of it as how we're always being tempted to or pushed to have that real world connection. So VR is not only limited to one subject, it's versatile, it's creative, it's intriguing. So in other words, I even thought of using VR in my own classroom. Currently, I'm covering for a Spanish leave replacement. And what I usually do is before I start any lesson, I have a daily dose of culture. So we visit a different country, we talk about a few fun facts, and we look at some pictures. So what I like to do also is if I can get panorama images, so this way you can actually see it and see how it looks. So VR and STEAM. New doors are open when you explore outside the box, meaning connecting VR with actual STEAM, which STEAM is not only the acronym for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, it's also a way of presenting information as well. So just to name a few, you can explore new places, you can make new interactions, and you can also start manipulating new technology, which I'll explain later.
Can I just share something so we can see the screen on that line?
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Sorry, guys, we're gonna share screen right now.
Sorry.
Here.
That one. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and you're all
Just
set.
slide through it. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell me when it's time.
Oh no, you already passed it.
So sorry.
It's okay.
Here.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so just to reiterate, we have virtual reality plus STEAM. As I said before, STEAM is not only an acronym, it is also a way of teaching and presenting information that encompasses more than just one way of teaching. So, but wait, before we even go on more, what exactly is STEAM? As I said before, it stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. I see it more as a cooperative and collaborative work, problem-based learning, and hands-on learning. So how does it relate? In other words, how does it prepare our students for the future? Students explore key skills needed for the workforce and college. Such skills would be critical thinking. So it's thinking outside the box and actually thinking, looking at having a multiple perspective when you're viewing or thinking about one problem. It creates a sense of independence since it's student-centered. You build the team player skills, which many jobs are always asking for. And also, it helps to promote organization skills, which a lot of students struggle with, and that's why we always end up with the with our maps, not our maps, but our organization sheets that we always give the kids. Okay, so virtual reality in the class. It can be explored through the lens of a VR goggle or through panorama images. So what happens, students explore what was once seen in movies or in textbooks. They can go on virtual field trips, which we have seen that already a lot of other websites do. And it brings topics to life, as I mentioned before. Let's see. Hopefully it shows. If not, I'll just pretty much explain it. Okay, so before I even go into that, since I'll verbally have to explain it, Senses to Explore would be Round Me. So what's really cool about it is that it is free, but you're also limited to about 10 images. And what you do is you can upload all your panorama images, which is very easy. You click and drag. And these images, you can take them on your cell phone. So if you ever notice on your cell phone, you have the setting options, then you also have something that looks like 3 bars. That's your panorama images, which you slowly have to move across this way. Okay, so once you already took a picture with your cell phone, saved it, cameras also have that option too. You can upload it to Round Me and it'll turn it into a video that you yourself can edit. Then we also have Google Maps, as I said. We also have a Photosphere app. So if you're using a phone that may not have that option, that's something you can look into. Another cool thing is that YouTube has a virtual reality channel page where you can look at virtual reality videos that were already made. I did try to look into how to do it, but it goes into a whole huge technical tech, like you really need to be tech savvy to handle that because you also need to take into account different softwares. And also in my ideal STEAM lesson, I had students create VR goggles. So as our previous presenter had mentioned, the use of Google Cardboard, you can purchase them, but in retrospect, if you have a class of 32 and it's $6, it gets a little pricey. But you can make your own. You just have to go online. You can type in the keyword DIY goggles. And what it'll do is it gives you a template. It even gives you the actual tools that you'll need and materials so the kids can work on it to make it. So in my ideal STEAM lesson, I had it based off of science. I was thinking more of terms of 5th grade and up, just because it's a lot for 3rd or 4th to do. And we're talking about it'll become a unit at that point. So I would have them exploring the natural world. So we'll go on a field trip, take pictures, then these pictures essentially will upload them to Round Me. And once we're on Round Me, I'll have them create panorama images, which I forgot to mention. You can also turn them into images that you can view on a VR goggle as well. Once from there, I was thinking that we can take these images, upload them onto an iMovie Maker if you're on Mac, or you can use Microsoft Movie Maker if you have a PC. And you can make a movie as a form of presenting it if this proves too challenging to try to use a VR goggles. So in the way that it relates to technology is through the use of computers, cell phones, in order to upload its science, because you're taking a look at how wildlife interacts in its natural habitat. We have engineering in the use of creating the actual VR goggles. Art is through the photographs that you're taking, creative expression, and also decorating your cardboard, because it doesn't only have to stay as a cardboard. You can color it or paint it as you like. And math, I was thinking it could be more of, you can create data setting just to kind of collect students' ideas as to what affects the habitat and affects the wildlife that you're taking, that you took pictures of. What does it affect its daily lives, or what impact does humans play on their existence? And I believe that was.
Thank you.
That was it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. I know we're running out of time, so we're going to keep the questions at the end.
Okay.
I am hoping that Dr. Uttendorfer is ready to go. If not, we can pick another presenter.
Nope, I'm all set.
You're good? All right.
I'm good.
Let me introduce you, my esteemed colleague, Dr. Uttendorfer. Michael Uttendorfer is going to share today and tomorrow some screen casting, screen sharing software. And Graham, you'll be next.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Hi, Gail. Hi, Melda.
Let me just share my screen here. You can see that okay? Melda, you can see that?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I'd like to do. This is usually something I do in about 20 to 30 minutes. So kind of squeeze it in quickly. I'm going to show you a little bit about a screen capture tool called Jing. It's a free application that allows you to record the screen and even annotate things that are on the screen. So what I'm going to do is show you, explain what it is, show you how you can get it free. I'll also show you how you can do a screenshot and annotate it, make a video recording of anything that you have on your screen, and then how to share them, all in 5 minutes. So the purpose of the tool is to allow you to capture anything that you see on the screen. And it's a very simple and easy process for you to be able to do. And I'll, at the end, do a live demonstration of how it actually works. But let me go through what it can do first. So one is you can capture as if you were taking a snapshot of whatever is on your screen. And when you've done that, you can also annotate it, which means you can add comments or arrows or highlighting boxes to what you see. You can also record any movements that are on the screen. Rather than just take a static image, you can, as if you were taking with a video camera, a recording of what's being displayed on the screen. And it will capture things like mouse movements and click areas or anything that you do, anything basically that you can do on the screen and then record it. There is a limit though to how much you can record. And I tell my students that's probably a good thing because it limits you to 5 minutes. So you really have to think about what it is that you're going to record and present. If you're going to do anything that's sophisticated, you've got to figure it out in advance and do it fairly quickly. So the next thing is, once I've captured these images, how can I share them? And along with Jing comes a service called Screencast, which is a cloud-based storage application where you can store your videos or your screenshots. And then you can share them either through instant messaging or emails or social media or a number of different ways that you can do that. So next is, how do you get it? And that's a pretty easy process. You go to the website techsmith.com and you can either do a search for Jing or type a / in the letter Jing or the word Jing. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a little free download. The software is available for both Mac and PC. So you pick the one that you want to use and download it. And again, it'll install something on your machine. And if you want to hear more about Jing, there's a little video right on the opening page that you can click on to get more information about what Jing is actually capable of doing. So when you've installed Jing, and I'll show this in the live demo part, it puts this little symbol at the top called the sun, the Jing sun. And when you click on it, it gives you some options. You can capture, you can look at your current history, or there are some other features that you can add by clicking on the More button. And when you click on the capture button, what it does is it asks you to identify the part of the screen that you'd like to record. So you drag your mouse over that part of the screen, and then you press a little button that comes up on the menu here, where you can either capture an image, or next to it you can capture a video. And again, I'll show you this live in person. Once you've captured something, you also have a toolbar that lets you annotate over the captured image. So if I wanted to point to a particular portion of this image, I could pick up an arrow, or I could write some text right on the screen of what I've captured. Same thing with the video recording. You can save these locally onto your computer, or you can share them by uploading them to the Screencast website. Same thing with the video. The only difference is, instead of capturing the screen, you use the image that says capture a video, and you can record up to 5 minutes, including the microphone voiceover that goes along with it while you're recording. So now I'm going to get very daring and try to do this as part of a live demo. So hopefully you can see the top of the screen. Can you see the little Jing sun that's on the top of the screen here? Okay. So let's say I want to give me 1 second here. I'm going to switch and show my full desktop. Okay, now at the top you can see, can you see the little Jing symbol, the sun? Okay, so there are the 3 pieces here. There's the, if I want to do a capture, or if I want to look at the things that I've already recorded before that, and again, I'll show you both of those real quick. But let's say I wanted to show somebody how to log into Blackboard. So I've opened Blackboard on my screen, and I click the little link that says capture, and you should now see a crosshairs on the screen. And as I move it around, I can see where I'm going to start the capture from. So I'm going to go here and highlight that portion of the screen, and there's my little menu at the bottom. I'm going to hit the button that says capture the image, And now it's taken a snapshot of that image so that I could save and send or annotate. And I'm just going to do a quick annotation here. I'm going to use the arrow tool and point to where I want somebody to put their username. A very simple example. Now, if I were doing a share, I can save this as a local file, and I could name it here. I'll call it BB shot for screenshot. And now I have a local copy of the image on my computer that I could save and send to somebody. Or I could share this through Screencast. And what it's just done now is it's taken that screenshot and it's uploaded it to the free Screencast service. And now I have the option of viewing it online. So I could send somebody that address and they could see the image that I just created. You could do that again with basically anything that you can see on the screen, including live captures of up to 5 minutes. So let me go back just to one more piece, and that's the history piece here. I've recorded some of these things in other applications. And you can see there's the one I just recorded today, the one I called BB Shot. I can send somebody that link, or I can upload it to the Screencast server for sharing purposes. Or here I can open an existing video. You can see that.
And I'll describe how to get there.
That's my recorded
In order
voice.
to get to the site, you go to HTTPS.
But that's how easy it is
//
to create and to share. And how do they do over 5 minutes? I knew I couldn't do that in 5 minutes. But the amazing thing is that Jing is still a free tool. It started out as a project. There's a commercial version of it called Camtasia, made by the same company. But for now, this tool is free, and it's very handy when I'm trying to show somebody anything that's on my screen, including up to 5 minute screen recordings.
Thank you again. All right, Glenn, you ready? And
Yes, I'm ready.
thank you.
How do I switch the screen share? I guess I just share mine, right? Let's see.
And at the bottom, if you roll down to the bottom of the screen, you'll see a little, there you go.
I think I got it. Cool. It's not what I wanted to share, but at least for sharing. Okay. Hang on a moment. How's everyone doing? Sorry I couldn't make it. The rain. Best laid plans, right? Is the audio okay? Because my headphone's not that clear.
It's perfect from our end.
All right, great. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is something that it's not that I'm going to be showing you some new technology per se, although I'm going to show you a couple of things. But I wanted to give some encouragement to all of you there at the school, because I had a really good experience getting training there and then getting a degree there. And one of my professors is actually there, Gail Sachs. And this technology and these things at the Speed Conference as well, this is my third time being at the Speed Conference, has given me lots of tools that I've used in my teaching. I'm putting some of them on the screen now while we're talking. I teach code and music and technology at a school called Arts and Letters in Brooklyn. Here's just a little couple of shots of my students. As you can see right here, this is one of my popular classes. I also teach music. So after graduating, Professor Sachs encouraged me, and I decided to create an application to open a school. And the school is going to be technology-based. And Professor Sachs is on the team, as well as several other colleagues of mine. And what's interesting is the school, called Stairs Academy, which stands for School of Technology and Arts Innovation Reaching for Success. It's going to use a lot of these tools that you guys are presenting. It's just real quickly, that's the name of the school, Stairs Academy. So I thought I would share just for a couple of minutes some of the things that the Speed Tech Conference and NYIT had taught me, and I'm now able to incorporate in the school plan. It's really exciting. So first of all, the first time I came to the Speed Tech Conference 2 years ago, someone presented this, Voki. I don't know if anyone is presenting that today. Anybody? So Voki is a really cool tool that you can use to create avatars to give little snippets of a lesson. Much like Michael's, it's limited in time. You only have a couple of minutes, but it's good for little introductions or little lectures and things where you won't be saying it. So here's an example. This was my intro a couple of years ago. Hopefully you're getting my audio.
Graham, it's not picking up the audio very well.
Oh, you're not getting the audio? Okay.
Very,
I mean, are you hearing it, but it's distorted?
it's very, very low.
Okay, it's really loud on my end. Well, anyway, it's giving a presentation. So I think the Zoom or the internet connection where I happen to be might not be allowing it. So the way it works is you can create your avatar. I tried to make this one look like me. I'll just show it to you. I think it's funny. It doesn't really look like me. Does it? I don't know. But you and it follows your mouse too. The eyes move around. So then you type in what you want it to say, and you choose a voice, an accent. They have different voice, dozens of voices you can try, just like they have dozens of styles of avatars. So that's something that I picked up there. So now, getting back to the school plan, our school is going to be using lots of technology and online tools for assessment. I have a video here that explains a little bit of that quicker than I could. Has anyone here used KidDom? Anyone use this one? Raise your hand if you know about this. All right, it's KIDDOM. Take a look at this. I hope the audio goes through. Tell me if it's playing. If it doesn't go through, it's okay, actually. I can explain it. Could you hear that? No, okay.
I think it's playing into your earphones.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know how to adjust that. So I'll just explain it as it goes along. So KidDom is a website similar to Jupiter Grades, but Jupiter Grades looks more like from middle school and high school. Like it's very it's not kid friendly. It's like, here's your grade. You have a 94%. Here's all the work that you did and things like that. Here's some comments. I didn't get your index card, or excellent, great job, whatever. That's for older kids. So KidDom is like one for younger kids, and it has cute little characters, which you're going to see. But basically, the teacher makes assignments on KidDom and then assesses the students by clicking on their phone just all throughout the day for each student, or an iPad or a computer. And it looks sort of like this. What you're seeing now is what the teacher sees. There are standard aligned resources and assessments. You can assign them to a student by clicking on them. Who do you want to get it? So the students can ask you questions. They can submit assignments. They can log on their phone. The parents can call you through there, send text messages. And on a student, and this is something that's showing you the teacher's end, but it has really cute characters that the students create for themselves, little cartoons and avatars. So our school is going to use that type of assessment all throughout the day. It's one of our part of our school design. So I just wanted to share with you that we're creating a school, that it was inspired from the work that we did at NYIT, including the Speed Tech conferences. And we're really excited. We're doing community outreach right now. If anyone has a device and you want to go to our website, or anyone else who's watching us later, stairsacademy.org, and you can scroll through. You can read about the elements of our instruction. You can look at why we're choosing our location, and just learn some different elements of the school, things that make the school special. At the bottom of the website, there's a questions, input, and feedback form. And I was wondering if I could ask you guys to do me a favor, being that everyone in the room is an educator or even an administrator in education. If you guys get a chance later to look at the website, leave us some comments and send us things, either suggestions for the school, suggestions for the website, or any of the information that's on the site about the school. Because we're still finalizing our proposal, and we'll be filing it in the next month, and then getting authorization from SUNY, who authorizes new charter schools. Gail, is there anything that you think that I should mention before? Because I don't take up too much time, but
Sure.
anything else?
Putting you on the spot. You did it to me.
Well, I could show a few more things, but I don't know how the time is running, and I don't know if there's something I'm forgetting to mention.
Oh, if you want.
No, it's just that this is really a passion of Graham's, and there are just a few of us who have joined in with him, and we really welcome your input and your suggestions. This is our first foray into trying to open a school. I don't know if any of you are in the New York City schools where they can do proposed charters.
Right.
And
I do remember one other thing is very important I wanted to share with everyone. So we've been now working with Melda, and we're forming a partnership between NYIT and our school. And one of the things that we'll be doing in that partnership is we're recruiting and we're looking for our administrators, for our staff members, and we need people like everyone in this conference who are tech savvy and who are into using technology and understand that. We don't want to have someone who's, I don't even like to use my cell phone and I don't like technology, because our school is all about that. So we need people who are into that and have the passion for that as well. So we would like to offer people to be able to do their internships, student teaching, and also we'll be hiring. Our school will not open for another year or two, so we're not hiring for this September. Takes a while to build it. But this is something that we'll be frequently checking back in with NYIT every time that we're recruiting and looking to interview people for positions. So we hope that we link up with someone who's looking for that opportunity and just feels that it's a good place for them to work at our school.
And if you go to the website, you can leave us
Mm-hmm.
down, and we can invite you to our next event, which is coming up sometime in May. And you can learn more about who you are, what the school is about, opportunities that may be there for you or for somebody you know, if it's not something you're directly interested in. Maybe you want to help us put our school together.
Definitely, we're I'd say 85-90%, finished, but we keep tweaking it and adding more things that are innovative that will really help ensure the students' success. So we're open to ideas from everyone who wants to get involved. And this is how you can contact us on the website, as well as just reaching out to Melda or Gail and asking for their information.
And I'm so delighted you are, after all, our success. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And don't mind sending me all the links. I created a website for all the presenters' links. So
Great.
If you can get off the screen, I can share with you the screen we have.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, how do I stop sharing? Boom, how's that?
Thank you, thank you. And let me share the screen. We put together a link. It's in a sense, it's internal now, but once we have everybody's bios and information comes in, we will share it on this website, all the speaker presentations and links. So if you don't mind sending me your presentation, we will share it on this link.
Yes, how should I email it to you? Is that the best way?
Yes, please, thank you.
Great.
Okay, that means we have a very, now that we are building all the schools, we also need to link each other to each other. So there is this software called LinkedIn is going to be presented by my co-host of this conference, Luz Minaya.
Thank you, Milton. And thank you everyone for being here today. I know those that are here have a window and we're seeing cloudy day. And those of you at home, you're very lucky because we still have to get out there. As Amanda was saying, LinkedIn, I'm going to present just a quick guide. It's really fast. I don't have to share it first. Yes. Are you able to see my screen? Anyone?
Yes, yeah, I can see it.
Sorry, I can see it.
Thank you. So one of the aspects of education, and this goes not just for K-12, but also higher ed. In my former life, not too long ago, I was a middle school teacher. And I taught middle school for 13 years. Prior to that, I was elementary. And throughout my journey in that endeavor, we were never encouraged to publish. We were never encouraged to publicize our stuff, everything that we do. Not because of lack of resources, but because of lack of, I would say, need. There was never a need for a teacher, an educator to say, oh, look at what I'm doing with my kids today. Or we did this unit last year, and build on that. So I have been, ever since I left my classroom and I have joined the higher ed world, I see a lot of people publishing, producing research, whether it's research with kids, whether it's research with college students, but nevertheless, people are learning, right? So how do we get our ideas out there? And they have to sign up for these very expensive research peer review websites. And I'm like, I'm a teacher, I have no money, I'm not gonna do that. So LinkedIn, and I know we have Facebook, we have Periscope that we're using today, we have Twitter, there's thousands of social medias out there, but again, where's one that's professional that we can actually showcase what we do in a manner that's collaborative? Because then you're getting yourself out there known worldwide and people can connect with you in a collegial way. So I'm titling this particular presentation, Unlocking the Power of LinkedIn. How do we leverage our professional social network as educators? So why LinkedIn, right? Everyone is like, oh, that's boring, but it's not, it's quite powerful. It offers you far more than a place to post your resume online. You can connect with colleagues and peers on professional interests and activities. So you can document your learning, to develop expertise. You can build your brand, show and share your work, and be part of a community to build a network. So you have the power to select what activities you want to join, what's your interest. And algorithm is something that I'm learning how powerful that algorithm data is, and how Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it's such a powerful tool because that's all they do. They just grab your information and they put it in clusters. So imagine you as the author creating an array of interests, who's not looking at you? And I'll share one example at the end as to why this is so powerful. 3 key steps that I've been able to address in terms of like realize that this is what I have to focus on, and this is how I stay relevant. So it's important to stay relevant too, because this ever-changing technology and research, sometimes we just have to keep up with the trends because they change every 3 months. So number 1 for me is commit to once a week to use LinkedIn to connect with several current or former colleagues. Just a little hello, how are you, what's going on, what are you doing, email, no harm, they respond, wait, yes, no, you'll just do it again and just wait and see what happens. 2, make the effort in groups on LinkedIn. This will raise your visibility and personal profile. Because I have joined groups that I'm interested in, like Women in Tech, research space, and I get to see what people are talking about throughout the entire world. Not just locally, because I have my settings on local, but I also look at what's happening in the world. And I connected with someone in New Zealand that she's like known renowned global educator, an amazing individual. So, I mean, it's been like 5 years already I've been following this particular individual. 3, once you have joined these groups, start a discussion in each of them. As you are an expert in the field, people will notice your thought leadership and will want to engage with you. And that has to do with part of my story that I have at the end, has to validate why this is so important, and you should really spend time on LinkedIn as opposed to other things out there. The goals of these 3 steps is to create new connections, strengthen existing relationships, and position you as a thought leader and an expert that will provide you with opportunities. And the opportunities are there, you just have to be willing to take them and also see what's out there that meets your expectations. Ways that educators can use LinkedIn to get ahead, and this is just for any teacher in a classroom or anyone that's starting out anywhere, not just a teacher, because I see everyone in the world as an educator, because we all educate and interact with people at any given time. It's good for finding jobs. Absolutely, it does work. You can consult with experts, connect with all colleagues near and far, and don't limit yourself to just your surroundings. Thank New Zealand. Look at us right now. We're Azerbaijan and someone else in another country. Perfect example. Get recommendations. And this is really tricky, but it's easy to get. Why? It's just a paragraph. And the reason I say I'm adamant about recommendations is because I just went through the process of submitting my application for my doctorate. And they wanted 3. I always aim high. I asked for 6. And guess how many I got? 6. I got 6. So now my goal is to get these 6 individuals, transfer that information onto LinkedIn so it's there. Because people look at it. I look at it personally. I look at other people's recommendation. It's something that we have to get used to because colleges now are looking at your profile. And it's very important for us to, whatever recommendation you have to get, oh, send a thank you. Do me a favor. Can you just post this on this thing and you can send them the link and they can just write it through the email. It's very simple and easy. Form discussion groups. And this is perfect, especially for you, Graham, that you're conducting this survey for your website. You should just send it through that, and that way you can get feedback on live, and it's there, and it's something that's a record that you could go back and refer to. Keep an accurate contact list. I love that. I left the DOE in New York City 2 years. Everyone knows what I'm doing, and I know what they're doing as well. So it keeps you current. And the number 1 reason is promoting yourself. And this is how we have to be objective, intentional. What is it that you want to put out there? What is it that you want? I used to ask my kids, my students, when I did my technology class, what do you want people to know about you when they search you on the net? And a lot of them got nervous because when they did a Google, their name, all the pictures came out. And so they started getting scared and started thinking about, oh, I don't want my mom to see that. I don't want this person to see this. So they started questioning what they were putting on their internet, on their sites. Finally, I have 2 examples. One is a very good one and one is an okay one. And you'll see why I say that. This particular individual, fascinating person. I had the pleasure of meeting her through other colleagues. You'll have the access to the actual PowerPoint, so you can check her profile also. So if you can see, short, this is Carlike, right? This is what she has published so far. She publishes a lot, really good articles, helpful. Summary about herself, not an entire history, but it's just bullet point. And her experience. Of course, if you want to see her full entire profile, you have to just befriend her. However, take a look at the certifications, right? So these are trainings that she has taken within LinkedIn itself as part of a membership package, which is only $35 a month. Some of us can't afford it, some of us can, but I think it's a great investment because people see what you're capable of doing. Your qualifications will show. So forth and so on. I'll show you the okay one. And it's mine. I'm just starting, really barely starting, like baby steps. No, let's do this. I'll sign it quickly. Yeah, just to show you. I call this elementary level yet, because I just started updating all my things in terms of my research, going back to my archive. I still have my website when I was in my classroom, so I'm not trying to find a way to translate that over. Just to have a way people can see who I am through the eyes of LinkedIn as an educator. I just want to share quickly, and this is too long, and you'll see why I say it's too long. So it's very wordy, no one is going to read that. I already know that because I already had someone commented on it that I asked them to. I did have 2 articles here. This is about me, what I do here at NYIT, which I did not introduce myself. And another profile that was done for me as an alumni, because I also graduated from NYIT. Articles that I like, people that I follow, experience. And this is also important, feature skills and endorsements. So when someone endorses someone else, it does pay. Why? Because jobs, LinkedIn is powerful for job hunting. They will match your skills to whatever the description of the job is. And they will email you a list of jobs available with your skill sets. And this is good for those of you recruiting teachers, Graham, and anyone who's looking for anything specific that you want to do outside, even research. Just find someone who does research, and you'll get a lot of people that are doing research in instructional technology. Just an idea.
Every week.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking for a job, but they must be, they're looking for me.
Yeah, yes. You'd be surprised the talent that they're asking for out there in terms of experience. Accomplishment, and this is really tricky. It needs to be data driven, which is something that I'm working on as well. So that way you show, oh, you did this and these were the results. Most people want to see that data. This is when data, the word data is good. How many minutes I have? Okay, sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry, chat. Hi. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the link. Okay, thank you. Okay, and this is just a search that you can do on LinkedIn. Gives you anything that has to do with education and educators. Just even Google it, but it's titled educator. They will give you data upon data, give you ideas who's out there, right? You want to touch base, you want to do a partnership, you want to do a programming. LinkedIn is good for that. And finally, I have one quote that I like to end. I always end with some inspiring quote, not just for myself, but for everyone. The K through 12 education industry is changing, and more recruiters and principals are going to take to LinkedIn as a primary tool for recruiting, just like other industries. I'm just one of many paving the way. Get ahead of the curve and reap the results. This is by Tracy Brizan, founder and president of the Opportunities Project, an amazing person to follow. Good advice in terms of finding jobs, writing resumes, and how to sell yourself, because really that's all we do is sell ourselves. And with that, I conclude my presentation. I hope you enjoy it. Any questions, please don't feel free to email Melda. Email me. Melda has my contact info. And thank you.
My stepson works.
Ooh, nice. Very good.
Luz, I did have a quick question. I was trying to type it, but can you make a page for an organization or a company or a school, or only under your own name profile? Can you make?
You can have a profile for your organization, yes.
Okay, cool. So we're going to do that.
And for
Great.
you, if you're really recruiting for teachers, you can start now. And that way, if it says I want to apply, you can start searching and learning about them and maybe creating focus groups, right?
Great idea.
Yeah, just think about
Thank
that.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We have some presenters who said they're recording because they are on the other side, probably already sleeping. So I will put those recordings available. But last thing I would like to do, unfortunately, the ones in the Zoom could only see it through a similar recording. We're going to go to a STEM lab here. We have a small STEM lab in the on the 3rd floor. I would like to show people who are here presently, but you're always welcome to come visit and we can do a demo. Today, the demo is about, I already did it and I was on the showcase you virtual reality tools that Dr. Wang all set up for us to explore. As well as for tomorrow's sessions, I hope you'll continue to join us from Facebook, from Periscope, from Zoom. So we hope to see you all tomorrow as well. And I have another presentation I'm going to do in that room. It's called Hyperdunio. I put the link up on the presenter's link. So let me at least share with you that on the screen before we say goodbye to you on the screen. All right. I had the chance to meet Mr. Wagner in a conference years ago, and I continue to follow his work. And recently I was at site conference, and he donated to our university the Hyperdunio set, which is in the next room that we're going to explore a little bit. All right, what is Hyperdunio? Here is the link. Okay. It's the most exciting thing I've seen in that conference. What you see on the picture, can you clearly see it? You see a demo of, let's say, volcano done by the students with 3D, right? 3D. And then you see a computer. So the student and the project could be connected through Hyperdunio. And the way that things happen is that you have these set mechanical stuff that we're going to see in the next room. You will connect it, and then once someone connects, push a button here, it will lit up like the volcano lighting up right here. It could be a poster or it could be connected. As you can see, these little wires right here. You make the wires work the way you want. So it's a maker movement, but it integrates computer. If you want to integrate computer, you can actually do it standalone. So I'm going to show you a standalone piece in the next room. So let's look at this video. It's only 2 minutes long, and it's done by Roger Wagner himself. And he's so much willing to, he was planning to come, but he's giving another keynote. Today is a very busy day for all our presenters. So he sent us his best wishes and a video clip that we can watch.
Hi, this is Roger Wagner, and here we are with the Volcano project, this time on a Chromebook. This is an Acer Chromebook attached with the Hyperdunio Arduino combination and the Volcano Interactive project. Let's start the movie.
Hi, this is my Volcano project. There are a lot of different kinds of parts of the Volcano. The magma chamber, the main vent, the secondary vent, the secondary cone, and the crater. There are 2 different kinds of layers, ash layers and lava layers. When a volcano erupts, it erupts with force and pushes out lava and smoke. I hope you like my volcano.
And as before, if we touch the secondary vent, for example, we get the Kilauea Volcano West Vent.
So there are dots on this one as well that you can push, and the lights will.
And if we touch the main vent, the Colima Volcano, eruption during the day and at night. Oh, pretty cool. So we can link any video to different lights on the model and any sensors on the model to any parts of the main video or other videos that provide extra information. So that is the Hyperdunio Arduino combination running with the Volcano Interactive project and an Acer C720 Chromebook. And this is a great way to start with the maker movement. And it's a great way to start your makerspace with great interactive projects. You can learn more at hyperduino.com.
Thank you to Roger Wagner. And it actually, if you want to go further, it also builds in some coding into the project. It could be done with students from kindergarten through high school. So it's an exciting tool we're going to explore in the next room. And for those of you who are online, Daisha, thank you for joining us. Naomi, we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully in person. Rashid, go to bed. It's time to sleep. Brad, really, really appreciate it.
I'm jealous. I want to see the lab. I'm jealous. Okay, have fun.
We will show it to you. It's just that, you can't really touch things, but we will be using my little phone to do Zooming. And Michael, thank you so much for your Jing presentation. We can't wait to hear tomorrow's presentation. And Old Westbury says good night to the world. Good evening to New York. So talk to you soon. Thank you so much for attending today's CTech conference. See you tomorrow. Hoşçakalın. That's in Azerbaijan, right? Azerbaijan. Hoşçakal. Can we say goodbye?